What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, going to be casting a game from round number 1 from the Balt Cup 3. This time it's only 8 teams, so we're going to be having a little bit of a shorter tournament, fewer games. But regardless, this is still going to be a best of 1. This is going to be between Frankie Valley and the Four Seasons, or FVFS. Either way you say it, it is not going to be fun to say. And Tresh on the other side. Thank you for them for picking a very, very easy to say name. And well, this is the new patch, I believe. This is 6.79, and I have yet to cast anything from this version. I've been playing a good amount on it, and I do like the changes overall. I haven't really seen how teams on a higher level of play rather than random pubs have adapted to the patch, but hopefully we'll see some new .79-esque picks and bans coming out this game. Seeing something a little bit different. The bans so far looking pretty normal. Wisp did get hit pretty hard with that nerf bat. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But the Wisp did get hit pretty hard with the nerf bat. The tether no longer stuns. Instead, it just has a 100% slow, which basically means you can't move at all, but you still will be able to cast spells and everything. Visage got tweaked a little bit. Weaver got nerfed a little bit as well. But regardless, I think the biggest thing is the Wisp still getting banned out in the first round of bans. Just having the Wisp in the game makes things so troublesome. And even if the tether isn't as strong, it is still a very game-breaking hero to have. And not game-breaking as in you're going to win, but game-breaking as in they have to play differently. FVFS can open up with the Bane as well as a Lifestealer, so usually two heroes that you see on the opposite ends in order to counter, the Bane counters the Lifestealer. It will work out pretty decently. It will give the Lifestealer time in the early levels to close the distance and then start with the open wounds, being that it is still a very low range spell. And it is some pretty good setup for that. It's not exactly the strongest setup, like as far as kill lanes are concerned. If you want a Bane in a kill lane, you are pretty much better off going for someone like a Gyrocopter, which is probably, I would say, the best one. Maybe like Leshrac or Lena to be those secondary supports on top of that setup. But that's really what you want. Bane Lifestealer is okay, but it's not as offensive as some other lanes. Tresh on the other end, picking up the Darkseer, recently got hit with the nerf bat again on his vacuum. It was like 17-second cooldown on this a couple versions ago, but now it's 28, so the cooldown's definitely getting up there. And they're also going to go for the Bloodseeker now. Bloodseeker, just with the Thirst, provides a good amount of utility for his team. Being able to see everyone on the map below 50% is pretty damn useful, and if you forget that that is in the game, you're gonna pay for it. You're definitely going to pay for it. That being said, though, I'm not sure if overall this is a buff or a nerf. I feel like it should be a slight buff for him, although it's not really. It's not really solid either way, you know. Either way, he's still a very situational hero, and we're going to see how Tresh wants to play him. I expect they would put him in the mid lane. You could see they are banning out some powerful mid lane heroes that would do well to shut down that Bloodseeker. TA as well as the OD both will make Bloodseeker's life an absolute hell in that mid lane. So they're just trying to get rid of the possibility of that. So it looks like they are in fact gearing up to put the Bloodseeker into that lane. They're also going to pick up the Dazzle to go with that Bloodseeker, although I think it's probably along the lines of getting another carry hero and having that Bloodseeker be a controlling hero in the middle lane. Dazzle did get hit with the buff stick a little bit. His Poison Touch now actually does give you a little bit more slow on the early levels, whereas level 1 and 2 of Poison Touch pre .79 was pretty trash. Like, it was just like you didn't actually want to cast it because it didn't really do anything. Now they actually do things. So Dazzle's a little bit more desirable, but the weakness still stands that he is a support that needs a lot of levels. He does have some pretty good damage now, and he has some pretty good I'll keep you alive babysitting capabilities. But he still does need a lot of levels, and with the nerfs to the pulling in the game, it's going to be very difficult for him to acquire those levels. So we'll see how the Dazzle pick works out. On the other end, FVFS is going to go for that Razor pick. Most likely going to head towards the mid lane, expecting that Bloodseeker. And in a matchup with Razor versus anyone, you kind of expect Razor to come out ahead. Just being able to steal the damage of your opponents it's an incredible mechanic that will just pretty much win Razor 99% of his games. Of his lanes, rather. Bloodseeker is no different. I mean, you could have all the longevity in the world if you last hit creeps, but good luck last hitting creeps when you're hitting for like -30 damage. I would say that's a little bit difficult. So Razor's a very good counter against pretty much anyone in the mid lane. Bloodseeker is no different. So Bloodseeker, I expect, is going to have a lot of trouble moving forward in this game, at least in the laning phase. He's going to need to get a little bit of ganking going off, or at least Tresh have to have a little bit of a lane rotation. Either permanently from the get-go, put Bloodseeker in a not mid lane, or just have a support sit on Razor and really just keep him back that way. Both ways will work pretty decently, but I don't know if there's a way that they could reliably and safely shut down this Razor, at least with the lineup they have so far. Because right now they have a kind of a wonky .79 lineup. I don't really know where they want to go with this. They're going to go for the puck, which is, okay, so Bloodseeker is definitely moving out of that mid lane. I think with the changes to his thirst, it is not 100% needed that you have a Bloodseeker in that mid lane, whereas normally you would want the thirst in the mid lane to get as much vision as you can. With global vision, you don't really need that anymore. And Puck is a hero that is not a great hero against Razor, but the Puck does the least bad against the Razor. Like, you're not going to win the lane still, you're just not going to get crushed as bad. FVFC going to go with the Rubik as their secondary support pick, so Rubik as well as Bane, that's a lot of just duration to hold people out, and Tresh actually banning out the Naga Siren. I don't really know about that pick. Rubik as well as Bane is more than enough support for any team, and Naga Siren as a hard carry, I mean, she's not going to out-carry a Lifestealer, you're not going to want that. So I don't really know if FVFS, what's FVFZ? What am I talking about? FVFS would have wanted to go with that, but regardless, she is out of the pool. And Tresh maybe are going to look for another heavy ganking hero. I mean, they have their offlane, the Darkseer, they have a couple dual lanes. They do need another kind of support-oriented hero, but FVFS going to ban out the Anti-Mage instead, expecting for Tresh to run a jungling Bloodseeker perhaps. It's by far not the optimal way to run the Bloodseeker in a jungle. He can do okay with that Bloodbath. If you get a Quelling Blade, if you get a Stout Shield, and you use some choke point jungling, then you should be fine. But I don't really know if they want to take it in that direction. Bloodseeker, though, isn't the most reliable of carries, and they're going to go with the Sven for their last pickup. Now, this is either going to shove Bloodseeker into the jungle, which is it's possible, or the Sven is going to be a support Sven. I personally like the option of putting the Bloodseeker in the jungle more so than the support Sven. I feel like support Sven is just horrible. Like, at level 1, he has 1 stun, and that's bad, because then you have to clarity, and if you get that cancelled, then you're going to be sad. So, Tresh do have a little bit of flexibility in their lanes, but it will rely heavily on their early game ganking. We'll see how they want to play this out, and hopefully it's not a support Sven, because it just pains me every time I see that. Windrunner is going to be the last pickup for FVFS. Going to be going onto that hard lane most likely, so it's going to be tri-lane on the Radiant, tri-lane on the Dire rather, possibly dual lane, 2.5 lane on the other end. We will have to see what they want to do with it, but Windrunner probably going to have a decent time, at least for a little bit. Dazzle can zone her out pretty well, but you know, as Windrunner, you're probably not going to die unless you get hit by a Stormhammer, and then you like forget you have Windrunner or something like that. So the Windrunner should be fine on that off lane. I expect Lifestealer, Rubik, and Bane to force Darkseer out of the lane in a big way. Darkseer probably won't get much done in that lane, but and then of course I already went over the mid lane. So we'll see what we are going to be seeing in this game. Let's go over who's playing what. We have RMRF is going to be playing the Razor. We have Vorix Moose on the Lifestealer. Fruity Bat is going to be on the Windrunner. King Banana of Potassium, that's an amazing name, is going to be on the Rubik. And last but not least, we have Psycho on the Bane. Kind of fitting considering the hero that he has chosen. On the other end, we have Unknown Titaness playing the Bloodseeker, heading towards the top lane with Hypnagogic on the Darkseer, also heading up. Looks like everyone's actually heading up there. Balti is going to be playing the Puck, along with More Havoc playing the Sven. And last but not least, we have this guy, Dazzle, going to be played by Kaganesti. Kaganesti is going to be on the Dazzle. Looks like we're going to be seeing a little bit of an early invade. Unfortunately, Dazzle, by the Courier, you have to do that, yeah, and is going to be a little bit late to this party. The level 1 fight from Tresh is rather weak, I gotta say. So I'm not sure if this is going to be the best way to approach this. But with all 4 heroes on this top lane, I mean, they have Quelling Blade. This is definitely a mid lane Bloodseeker build. smoking up. The only stun they have is Stormhammer. Everything else is not disabled. I mean, Unknown Titaness took Blood Rage, which is fantastic and everything, but it's not really going to help you get a kill unless there's a Windrunner, which may be the case. Balti, of course, has Illusory Orb, which is some good damage, but it won't really do enough. And then Darkseer doesn't really have that much either. So they're just going to wait for Fruity Bat to come in, and this could be actually the first blood. If they see her, yeah, more Havoc, don't dispel that smoke. Don't do that, he's really close to the tower. Surprise, Fruity Bat. There's the first stun, but there's really no follow-up. Where's the Blood Rage? Too late on that Blood Rage. They're going to dive deep for this one, but it's not going to work. Balti even jumps to his orb. Fruity Bat is going to be forced back. He could even go back to the base and return to the lane and be in time for everything else. And wow, the puck dropping awfully low is going to be forced to use the salve already. So aggression from the Radiant side proving to result in absolutely nothing. It forced the Windrunner back, or no, it didn't even force the Windrunner back. It's just going to force a couple of tangos out. But at the same time, it forced out the puck to use the her first salve. And puck is going to head towards the mid lane where Razor is already there. And we'll see what the puck could do about this. We see the ward coverage on the Dire side with the on the Radiant jungle. Have some pretty good ward coverage. We have a hard camp blocked over here, easy camp blocked over here. So Unknown Titaness as well as Cagnesti not really going to get much done in the jungle pretty much at all. The Dazzle is not going to be able to pull. He does not have any sentries. So this is going to be 6 minutes where these wards are just going to be sitting here and being such a huge nuisance. And on top of that, they have a couple of supports just harassing the hell out of them as well. Doesn't really make things easy. Unknown Titaness is going to get pretty much nothing done in this lane. On the top side, we have a Sven. Looks like he's going to be hard farming on this top lane. Sorry about that. Looks like he's going to be farming on this top lane. Darkseer is going to be with him. I think I remember Tresh doing this last time as well, laning Darkseer in a dual lane. It's not exactly the best because Darkseer is a hero that does need a lot of experience. However, with Sven and Darkseer, that's okay kill potential. You could Surge and Ion Shell Sven, and then just have him get right in the face of the Windrunner. The problem, though, is still that Wind Run. Once she pops that, there's nothing Sven or Darkseer can do except for try to run with them and hope the Surge is timed properly, but more likely than not, this lane is just going to be an awkward dual lane, and really, I don't think there is much they could have done around this. I mean, with the draft that they selected, there's not much that they could have done to avoid that awkwardness, except for possibly throwing the Bloodseeker into the jungle, like I said, but even if they did, he wouldn't have many places. He wouldn't have the easy camp, the hard camp would be completely blocked. This camp would probably be the only viable camp for him to actually go to, and even then, it won't really be that fruitful for him because he could choke point jungle that. Sure, on the bottom lane, we have a pullback onto Cagnesti. He's going to use the heal on himself for just a little bit more, as well as a Shadow Grave. He's going to be just fine from this. It's going to force a couple of tangos to be used out, but really, FVFS, they didn't spend anything on this bottom lane. And wow, mass teleportations on a Surgeon and Ion Shell to Unknown Titaness, but a little bit of miscommunication actually, refusing to go in. There's no disables on this lane. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with this. The FVFS could actually turn this around and do something, but more Havoc coming in with no mana, no disables, mass teleportation. That was a complete waste of 270 gold. Not to mention a huge amount of time, and looks like there's going to be a dedicated lane rotation. Unknown Titaness going to handle the top lane solo against Fruity Bat, whereas now there is a tri-lane on this lane. Darkseer is a pseudo-support hero. Definitely not the best. More Havoc getting lifted up, but there's the instant Ion Shell as well as the Surge, keeping him safe versus that open wounds, which actually does not exist. Moose is going to be taking some pretty heavy hits through that heal, and the right clicks, will it be enough? He just need a couple more from Cagnesti. The range, it's not going to be up 28 HP, is going to be the survival HP amount, and the Ion Shells are there, but really, there's not enough disable on this lane. These lanes are incredibly weak. This lane, rather, is incredibly weak from Tresh, though a late lane rotation, you kind of have to, it's fair enough, you made a late lane rotation, so it's not going to be the strongest. But Darkseer really doesn't contribute all that much. Dazzle at the moment is going for his heal as opposed to his slow, so going for a rather defensive Dazzle build. I mean, it does do some pretty good damage if you could get a whole bunch of creeps around the enemy unit, but there's no crowd control on this lane, like at all. And you need crowd control to shut down this Lifestealer, who boldly is not even going for open wounds. He's just doing pretty much whatever he wants with the skill build, and he feels completely safe about doing it. More Havoc does have a couple more CS than him right now, and we'll see how Unknown Titaness farms in the top lane. But so far, Fruity Bat not doing too bad. Razor, not surprisingly, leading the way in the CS charts. But right now, it's just this dual lane of Sven and Dazzle. Yeah, they're going to have to be careful. Not quite yet. They don't know that Lifestealer does not have open wounds yet. Which is, you know, it's forcing them back, but if they still have to be careful because they don't actually know. Like, they're assuming he's level 3, he has 1 point of each thing. But that's actually not the case. I'm sure Moose will eventually get that, maybe? Because it's a pretty good spell. I would recommend getting it. That would actually open the door for them to get some kills, despite the fact that there is a shallow grave as well as a heal on the other end. I mean, that heal will be pretty useful. Looks like I missed a little bit of rotation on the top lane. Oh, no, I didn't. Banana's coming in. Unknown Tightness being a little bit greedy, taking an awful amount of damage from Fruity Bat. The Blood Rage keeping up somewhat. Not Blood Rage, the Blood Bath keeping up somewhat. Now it's a power shot, not going to hit onto anything. Unknown Tightness. Does he have any more regen? He does have a couple more sets of regen. Wow. Rubik getting 2 sets of Tango. That's a lot of regen on this guy as well. They're just going to apply a little bit of pressure to this top lane tower. Really, there's nothing that this Bloodseeker could do about it. If he gets lifted up into the air, that will set up perfectly for a power shot in a couple seconds once the Windrunner does have that amount of mana. Balti gonna find Psycho in the jungle, and yeah, nothing's gonna really come of that. But on the meantime, bot lane, Moose dodging the Stormhammer with that rage. Still does not have any points in open wounds, but it doesn't matter. He's keeping himself safe, despite the fact that it is now a 1v2 on that lane. Middle tower, as well as top tower, being slowly pushed down from FVFS, and it seems like just Tresh don't have enough heroes on the map. There's going to be another rotation. Looks like Dazzle's going to be heading towards the top lane, helping out his friendly Bloodseeker, but was that from the base? It definitely wasn't from the base, because or else you would, you know, have full health and full mana. But they unfortunately cannot get anything done in this lane until Unknown Tightness gets to his level 6 mark. Once that happens, Rupture will open the door for some kills. Especially on a Rubik who's only like level 3 or something. Yeah, level 3 Rubik is not going to have a fun time, but still Bloodseeker in a dual lane and a tri-lane for a little bit, that is not really helping his cause with achieving that Rupture. More Havoc is going to be your first blood in this bottom lane. There's really nothing that he could do to escape this except for some mad jukes, but that's not going to happen. More Havoc getting ganked up by a hasted Razor, and now we might even see Hypnagogic being a little bit in trouble. The damage is still on Razor, and Hypnagogic can be forced to surge away. There's no hard disable on this lane, so he will slip away, at least for now. He doesn't have boots. Razor's still on the chase. Now Razor is going to back off. So Razor making one easy rotation, finding an easy kill on that Sven, and Sven left without support versus the Lifestealer is not a lane that Sven is going to win pretty much ever. Especially since Lifestealer now has open wounds and phase boots. So this could be another death of More Havoc. There's the open wounds, and where's the damage steal? There it is, finally. Surge out, though, from the Darkseer. Right place in the right time. Hypnagogic is going to bail out his Sven ally from that inevitable doom. But at what cost? He has no regen. Sven is going to stick around for a couple of levels, but he doesn't have any other option. He has to fall back right now. He's just pretty much wasting his time. Maybe he wants to level 5 and wants to throw one last Stormhammer before he goes back, but really, there's nothing much he could do right now. Is he going to throw the hammer? Throw the hammer, retreat. I mean, your window is kind of closing because there are 2 heroes with phase boots on this bottom lane. And if they so choose, you will be very dead. Moose taking a good amount of damage, but More Havoc still holding on to that Stormhammer, still with no regen. Doesn't even have anything flying out towards him. Okay, well, we're going to look up towards top lane and say where Fruity Bat is going to nail a kill down onto the Bloodseeker. Cagnesti unable to get the heal on the Bloodseeker in time. The Windrun keeping the Windrunner alive, although she in the end will go down. The Radiant team got absolutely nothing from that end. In the meantime, bottom lane, the dive did happen. Looks like Sven did escape with just a little bit of HP, but Hypnagogic might not be as lucky. There's the Infest. The Surge is running out. The Infest damage not quite enough. And with Balti teleporting in with the Illusory Orb, Moose is going to be forced to fall back. There's the Coil as well as Silence. Not too high on those levels, though. Moose can take a little bit of damage, but he does have phase boots. He will sprint his way out of there. Here comes Razor once again. Does have an Illusion Rune. And that means a lot more mana is available to him. It looks like the Rupture used first in the top lane. Unknown Tightness getting a little bit over his head, and really the Dazzle support with Shallow Grave was not there. Not too sure what happened about that, so my apologies for missing that skirmish. Was watching the inevitable doom on the bottom lane. But in the end, it's FVFS leading 1-3 over Tresh, who have gone with some, I would say, cool .79 picks, which is, like, you know, great for them, points for that. But in the end, if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work, and their lanes are incredibly weak. Razor pretty much dominating his lane, as well as the bottom lane now. And even though Vorix Moose not really going for, I would say, the best, most aggressive Lifestealer build. Has still gotten a good amount of farm. Has pretty much not been under pressure at all. And now they're going to put a little bit of pressure onto the bottom lane tower. Everyone except for Psycho, who now is level 6. He can even look for a kill on more Havoc, although it's Fruity Bat on the top lane who has to be in a little bit more trouble. The Wind Run is going to bail him out for now. Shackle not going to latch on Unknown Titaness. The power shot's going to fly. Unknown Titaness will secure the kill, though. And with the Bloodbath health regen, he will get himself out of there. Although, here comes the Razor from across the trees. The Plasma Field from long range going to secure the Bloodseeker kill. In the end, it's a 1-for-1, and you don't want the Razor to get these types of kills. This will eventually stockpile up to a lot of pressure onto the Tresh side, and well, can they defend against that pressure? It remains to be seen, but so far it's not looking that great. Level 8 on the Puck versus level 9 on the Razor. All three of FVFS's core heroes are up on the top. You get the Razor, Windrunner, as well as the Lifestealer. By far the lowest are the Rubik and the Bane, but really does that matter? Not really. Dazzle is in a little bit of trouble. Does have the Shallow Grave. He's going to turn around for an attempted heal bomb. Not going to work. There's the speed boost from more Havoc. And now it's the Razor who's in a little bit of trouble. He does have the phase boost, but not going to be able to outrun this hammer. Kaboom! And that's more Havoc finding a kill on this top lane. Double damage rune there, but not needed. On the top side, Hypnagogic is going to try to bait out something. He's going to Rupture, actually, Moose. There's the Rage, which isn't really going to help him that much. He's going to protect him from the nukes, from the Puck, but there's Dream Coil. Moose is unable to escape. He does not have his Infest. There's the Fiend's Grip from Psycho. Going to hold Unknown Titaness within the range of this tower. This could be a kill as well. He's going to get out with 2 HP. No, he's not. The tower shot from long range is going to secure the kill on that. So in the end, it's another 1-for-1. I would say Tresh getting a little bit more out of that. Their Bloodseeker not as important as the FVFS Lifestealer, but both sides invested quite a lot into that, and in the end, it is a 4-to-5 total score trade. Gold earned, experience earned, not as highly in favor of the Dire side as I would really expect. Tresh getting these couple of kills, really helping them just stay in the game. Equalize the experience, equalize the health, although this is not something I would recommend. And wow, look at that. Everyone in the chat, just bravo. Bravo. That is some sportsmanship, sportsman-like conduct right there. Points for Fruity Bat. I gotta say, just give it up for Fruity Bat, guys, because that is impressive. He can easily secure this kill. And he wants to secure the kill as well. But he's not, because he's a good guy like that. Wow. Points for this guy. Fruity Bat. Oh, they're all in the same house, apparently. Fruity Bat going for a 1-point Shackle Shot in favor of 2 points in Wind Run. Against the lanes that he was up against, I'd say that is a good, decent choice. The additional duration of Wind Run, I'm sure, has saved him a couple of times. Let's go over quickly some skill builds, see if there's anything wonky going on. I'd say the only thing weird is Kaganesti going for maxed out Shadow Wave. It does do a lot of damage, though you have to have a pretty good surround on the enemy hero if you want that damage to be done. And that's just not too realistic, with the only hard disable being Sven's Stormhammer. You don't really have a lot of time to really just get that surround and then get the Shadow Wave off. If you do get it off, then 140 times 6 physical damage, that will like insta-gib someone. That's so satisfying when that happens, but it's a very difficult spell to use offensively. Of course, having that heal is great, but I feel like just having another disable in that Poison Touch would be just a little bit more useful for him. Looking towards the other heroes, we have Puck going for a second point in phase shift. Usually you don't see that. Darkseer hurting on the levels, so he doesn't really have that much to work with. Lifestealer kind of the same way. But all in all, it seems like, with the exception of Nightmare being maxed out from Bane, usually you do see Brain Sap being maxed out because pure damage, yes, pure damage is something that you want all the time. Nightmare usually is generally used as a setup spell, which is it's getting a little bit more love here. I guess he doesn't really fear the right clicks of the Tresh sides. I mean, Feeble is dangerous, but it's not. Sven is dangerous, Bloodseeker are dangerous. They're not that dangerous. Top lane Windrunner gonna get pressured just a little bit by Balt as well as Kaganesti. Not gonna result into anything though. Windrunner is actually gonna get away, and how the hell did? Oh, it's a Shadow Wave stolen by the Rubik. That's how she's healing. Now Fruity Bat is right back in this lane, but the person in trouble is going to be hitting the Gogic on the bottom lane. Moose going to get infested into the creep, and Darkseer is going to drop on the bottom lane. In the meantime, Pink by himself has taken down that mid lane tower. Absolutely no resistance there, and well, Tresh, they have been kind of keeping themselves in this game, but yeah, there we go. The dip in EXP, the dip in gold is certainly there, and now Kaganesti, completely out of mana, is... yeah, I don't really like your chances right here, man. There's the Eye of the Storm, as well as the Plasma Field. He's going to give himself a little bit more armor, but really that's not going to save you. More Havoc's here as well, going to get stunned pretty back. Here comes the puck for a 3-man Coil. This could be really great for the Radiant team, although Coil now stolen by the Rubik. They're going to keep them latched for just a little bit, but really there's no follow-up there, so in the end it's just a couple of wasted spells, and everyone from the Dire team going to slip out safely. Could even start pressuring these towers yet again. Psycho on the bottom lane is going to find a Fiend's Grip onto Unknown Titaness. Moose is here as well for the beatdown, and Unknown Titaness is going to go down again. More Havoc on the top lane, might be in a little trouble as well. Static Link from long range, not going to drain any damage, but it will be enough to force the Sven back, maybe pop up the salve. But doesn't really matter. The Sven is at least not hugging this tower. He doesn't have any mana either. This tower is going to take a little bit of damage, but in the meantime, the bottom lane tower is the one that actually goes down. FVFS pushing on all fronts. It just seems like the Dire side have more heroes than the Radiant, which of course is not true. But the impact these heroes are having on an individual basis just seems a lot larger, because Darkseer really isn't contributing that much right now. Maxed out Ion Shell is great, but going for the Wall of Replica so early means that his Vacuum as well as Ion Shell really suffering, or his Surge really suffering. More Havoc though, gonna look for initiation on a pretty bad Illusion Orb, gonna whiff completely, although will it matter? There's a Dream Coil, there should be. No, there's a Dream Coil on the other end. It's still King Banana's Dream Coil, and there's a Shackle, not gonna latch. There is a Shallow Grave onto More Havoc, very premature. They're gonna try to chase down this Razor, the minus armor debuff, try and help out a little bit, but this Sven does not have any intelligence, any mana, or intelligence. If he had intelligence, he would have mana to cast Stormhammer. Maybe, I think, with Power Treads, no, it's not going to give you 50 mana. That's too much. So, yeah, Sven, not enough mana there, not enough just hard crowd control, and that's really the weakness that you see of Dazzle going for that Shadow Wave build. If he had 4 points into Poison Touch instead of Shadow Wave, you could bet that everyone from the Dire team would not have got out of there safely. There would have been at least one casualty, just because they would have had another disable. But seeing as though there's a healing build on the Dazzle means that he's unable to secure that kill up. Speaking of securing kills, this looks familiar. I think I've seen this before. Unknown Titaness is going to receive quite the... wow, that was unnecessary, but yeah, he's dead. The Bloodseeker is very dead, and Bloodseeker really hasn't had much of an impact either. He has Phase Boots and then his starting items, and that's it. So he's gotten like 1,500 gold total so far this game, and this game is right now being dominated by the FVFS heroes. More Havoc looking to make some action happen on this bottom lane. Dream Coil this time is up for the puck, but Moose as well as Psycho, they're just going to slowly walk out of there. No pressure being applied at all to the Dire side. The game pace is completely within their hands. It's not even due to this mid-Razor, who you would expect most of the time would be, anyone in the mid lane will be the hero that kind of sets the pace for the game. No, it's been all these individual laning heroes that have just been kind of doing their own thing, finding their own kills, and been living just by themselves like that, which is, I would say, it's fantastic for FVFS. You don't need to rely on your one hero because you have all your other heroes doing everything for you. Top lane tower is going to go down as well. Focus Fire is there. Fortification though, as well as Bloodseeker rotating in. There's the Phase Boots. He does get one charge, that movement speed from something. The tower does get denied in the end. How did he get that movement speed? Is it Windrunner? It must have been Windrunner. Tower gets denied, which is a little bit of something going for the Han Tresh side. But is it enough? I don't know. Psycho is going to pressure back Balt just by moving forward. That was a complete bluff. He had no idea. The puck thought that there was a Fiend's Grip on the Bane, but of course that is not the case. So Dire in firm control of this game. They're going to have mass teleportations on this top lane. Unknown Titaness is going to get mini stunned by that Shackle. Purple's here as well, hitting the Gogic, trying to get his way out of there. Windrunner still going for the wind run though. Not much faith in her Shackle shot, supposedly. King Banana Potassium though, going to steal Blood Rage. Not the best to steal, but there's the Shackle onto Unknown Titaness and the Fiend's Grip on hitting the Gogic. They're going to get both of them after a very nice power shot from Fruity Bat. And really, Han Tresh, they're struggling in this game. 4-11 is, it's not the worst score in the world, but the pacing, the experience and gold that the core heroes of FVFS have, which is slowly starting to stack up, almost nearing that huge 10,000 advantage mark on both experience as well as gold. And Han Tresh, they are certainly struggling. They have yet to take a single tower, although it looks like they're trying to make that change. Psycho is in the area. Fiend's Grip? No, just Nightmare to set up. Is there any teleportation support? There is not. Razor's coming in, gonna get slowed down a little bit by the Poison Touch. Also gets weaved. And more Havoc is gonna get his damage stolen. There's a Storm Hammer as well as the God Strength, but instantly Brain Sap. Where is the Fiend's Grip? No Fiend's Grip just yet because of silence from Balti. The coil goes out as well, securing the kill on the Razor. Sven escaping with just 100 HP. But Balti might not be safe just yet. Banana of Potassium as well as Psycho looking for the chase, but it's not going to happen. In the meantime, top lane, Fruity Bat has not left this top lane, using Focus Fire, level 2, to secure the kill on this tower, at least do some damage to it. Rupture, though, onto Fruity Bat. Can he escape this? Fruity Bat, fight back, or just teleport. No disables here. Silence is going to be thrown, but it's just a waste of mana in the end for the puck. Coil would have secured that kill, but fortunately for them, Coil was already used. Cagnesti, you don't want to be there, man. I would not recommend doing this. Moose even going, still with the 1 point in open wounds. That is an interesting build. Wow, that long range Fiend's Grip. I would assume that hitting the Gogic would have been fine from that, but Fiend's Grip is just one of those spells that sometimes has really long range, you know? You ever notice that? How sometimes Fiend's Grip hits from really long and sometimes it just doesn't? It's one of those skills. It's one of those skills. And on the back of that, they're going to make a push for the tier 2 tower. By the way, guys, I would recommend maxing out open wounds. You kind of need their range, because 200 range is pretty bad. I guess you have the Bane and Rubik, it's not too terrible, but yeah, it's desirable to get more points in the open wounds. Tower now in a little bit of trouble. Unknown Titan is going to move in. Does have a Vit booster, so he's rather tanky now, especially if he gets a couple kills within that fight. Looks like everyone from the VFS side is going to fall back, at least for now. The heroes are not exactly the best at pushing the lane. They're really good at killing them, though, so that's what they want to do. They want to lure Tresh out, try to secure a kill, which is why we see these two heroes, you know, kind of in the fringe areas between the mid and the bottom lanes. Hopefully using the Windrunner as bait, I think, but this bait might be a little bit too successful. Windrunner going to get initiated upon. Dream Coil only onto one. There's the hammer, and well, the Ion Shell is there. Dazzle with the heal bomb. He's going to secure the kill, but at what cost? Because the tower is slowly getting worked down in this bottom end. Rupture is still available. There is a HP boost. HP boost? What the hell am I talking about? A movement speed boost from the Bloodseeker, from the Razor in the jungle. And FVFS 4v5, they're going to fall back a little bit. Unknown Titanus, though, wants to pursue this out. There's the Rupture, and Rubik is going to teleport his way out. Easy peasy. Moose is going to go to town onto Unknown Titanus. Stormhammer onto Psycho. There's no Dream Coil available for this fight, and the Razor taking some pretty good damage from Cagnesti in the meantime. But there is a Moose inside of him. He's still going to run. Why are they all running? They can turn around and just clean up right now. Here comes more Havoc for a hammer. Going to secure the kill onto Razor. Surge onto the Sven as well. Going to turn around for the double damage. Moose is going to slip away in the end. Psycho still does have all his spells, still wants to look for someone. If he runs into this Dazzle, well, it's not going to happen. Dazzle putting down a very fortunate ward is going to ensure his safety. Now Moose in a little bit of trouble. Is there Dream Coil? Not for another 20 seconds. Moose going to get silenced, but there's really no way to chase this out. Unknown Titanus is going to get zapped. No, he's not going to get zapped. Where is the Fade Bolt from Potassium? It's not there. He's going to lose your aura out. He's just barely dodging the one that he just stole from Puck. Now Moose stealing in the middle of everything with that armlet. Going to go to town onto one. Cagnesti is going to drop as well. Moose is going to get blended down by the Ion Shell, but it's not enough. He's at 1 HP from the armlet, and he's going to survive. Lifestealer, man, fighting it up. Holy Jesus, that was... He had Drum of Endurance, which would have made things a little bit different, I suppose. But, hey, getting out with 1 HP, if you want to feel like a baller, that's what you got to do, man. And that is going to extend the FVFS lead all the way to an 8 to 17 kill advantage. Their heroes are starting to get some really big items. Bane almost at his BKB. Moose is building up towards his AC and is getting there really quickly. Windrunner is going to protect yourself from the Stormhammer, from the Bloodseeker spells with the Lincoln Sphere. And Unknown Titanus, yeah, I don't really know if this is what you want to be doing right now. Power shot a little bit premature, and unfortunately, they shot it off before Moose was in the area for that open wounds. Unknown Titanus is going to go down regardless, however. Fruity Bat going to take Stormhammer and hitting the Gogic with the Ion Shell is going to secure that kill. And the Gogic wants more as well. Does have the Mask of Mana, so he could run pretty damn quick, especially with the Surge, but looks like it's not really in his best interests. I think Moose forgot for a second that there's a Bloodseeker, a .79 Bloodseeker on the other end. sitting there at low HP. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous, and you gotta keep that in mind.
I know it's not a plate of nachos or anything.
Balti, still 1,000 gold away from his Blink Dagger. This Puck's not really getting that much. I mean, every time he's dropping the Dream Coil, he's getting a kill, which is fantastic, but you would kind of need more than that. Because Dream Coil is pretty much Huntress's best teamfight spell, and he's constantly using it on only one hero. Which, although is getting them kills, is really not the best way to use that spell. Not much value there. Looks like FVFS gonna start setting up for Roshan. Bane slowing down his BKB in order to do that. So yeah, looks like they're starting to stake out the enemy forest in this bottom river area. And they probably want to go for Roshan soon. Kaganesti, oh no, he's completely surrounded. How did he get surrounded so quickly? Moose, get him, Moose. Hey, Moose, get this guy. Yeah, there you go. Kaganesti is going to get gripped as well. Overkill much? Jeebus. Yeah, with the death of that guy, that should be Roshan at least, unless they don't want to, which could be the case. Maybe they want to defend their top lane? No, they see more Havoc starting to clear just a one stack of Ancients. And, well, it's not really going to end too well for him. Nagogic is there to give him a surge, though. There's the lift up as well as a damage deal onto Sven. He's not going to deal any damage with his right clicks now. Nagogic is going to drop the wall as well as the vacuum, going to do a lot of damage to King of Potassium, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. I know Tennessee is going to clean up, and here comes Balti with a 3-man Dream Coil once again. The Razor, though, stole so much damage. Look at the damage from Razor. It's a triple kill from Fruity Bat, who is going to barely escape. Yes, he will escape in the end. FVFS cleaning up all of Tresh's side. And that is the advantage of levels and gold that they have, just accruing all into that one fight, where if Sven had a BKB or something, if Bloodseeker had more damage, or I guess more tanky or anything, then he would be able to contribute as well. But yeah, it's not really looking good for Tresh. I would say that outside of FVFS going in one at a time and really botching up a team fight, there's not much that they could do to win this game. Just because they're so far behind. Take another look at that. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Puck slowly getting closer to the Blink Dagger, but even then, blinking in for a Dream Coil, I mean, just balancing the build 3-3-3. You'd want to get as much damage as you can on the Puck. I mean, phase shift is great, but it's not as important as actually killing people. The levels just aren't there. They just aren't there. They have managed to take down one tower, so all credit to them. They're probably going to get another in this mid lane. But I don't think that's enough. This will help them with like 1,000 gold advantage, but they still have another 13,000 to go. And even now, they have a couple heroes converging upon them. Psycho is around. And Tresh push the tower and do get out successfully. Razor in the area does have a Yasha, Sanjin Yasha rather. It's going to be going for the little bit of oh well, here we go, dual time Moose versus more Havoc. I don't like your odds, Sven. You don't really have much going for you. And the Gogius can get 2-shot. Oh my god, the damage. Unknown Tightness is there as well, getting lifted up into the air. Dream Coil is going to hit everyone, but to what end? Pretty much none, especially when it's stolen by Rubik. Puck is here, but Puck is going to drop. Where is the Dazzle? He's like, screw you guys, I'm not having any part of that. I'm getting as far away from that as humanly possible. And that's going to be an easy 4 kills for FVFS. They're going to lose their Windrunner, who valiantly used her Lincoln Sphere to protect the Life Stealer instead of herself. But yeah, this is not going to be good for Tresh. The tower is slowly going to get worked down despite the minus armor and weave attempt from the Dazzle. Fortification is there, but this tower is not long for life. Even if everyone from the Radiant team comes back right now, this tower is gone. They could even just fight it out to Rax's. Oh well, Static Link is wasted, and they're just going to fall back. They're going to play it safe, going to play it slow. No sense pushing in when you don't have to. Unknown Titanus is going to get purged because of that Blood Rage, or zapped because of that Blood Rage, rather. I don't think this really purges anymore. It doesn't. It used to. I think it did. It used to purge. Am I wrong? Oh, Moose. Yeah, do you really want to go for this? I don't really know if they do. Rupture being used there, but to no end. Now Moose is just going to walk his way out. Do they actually want to chase this? There's the Mask of Madness as well as the Warcry. Unknown Tightness has some pretty good movement speed as well, but haste on the Lifestealer. They're going to actually turn around for more havoc. The Weave is there, hitting absolutely everyone as well as the Shallow Grave onto Sven. He will not die, at least for now. Balti, though, getting beaten down. Moose getting his claws into anyone he could reach. There's a 3-man Dream Coil stolen by Rubik once again. I think that actually cooled down from before. Hitting the Gogek as well as Unknown Tightness are both going to die. No, Unknown Tightness is going to escape just barely. Balt escaping through the north, and it looks like Sven has TP'd out of there, but no, Psycho somehow catching up to that puck. He can secure the kill there, and the Razor with the movement speed from the phase boost, as well as the Yasha securing the kill onto the Bloodseeker as well, despite the... Oh, there was no 50% movements, 50% threshold on anyone. Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under siege.
So that happened. That definitely happened. Unfortunately for us, this game will continue. FVFS still not deciding to push in and actually end this game. Although it definitely can happen at any moment. Because this game is slowly drawing to a close. There's a shackle onto the Sven and the focus fire. My god, Windrunner. Crit Runner. Yeah, it does a lot of damage. Sven's down for another 40 seconds. They don't have their Lifestealer, which is by far their highest damage dealing hero. But they're definitely waiting a little bit too much. This game could end right now. But it's not. Oh god, guys. They're gonna go for Roshan, which hopefully is gonna give them the courage to push in and actually end this game. I certainly hope so. Because I really don't want to be watching this game anymore. It's definitely... What is going on? What is this? What game am I currently watching? There we go. Just please kill Roshan and then end this game. Put them out of their misery, because really there's nothing that Tresh could do at this point. They're just simply way too far behind. Outside of a 5-man everything, even if they do get a 5-man everything, like a 5-man coil into a 5-man vacuum into a 5-man wall, it's a level 2 vacuum, so that's not going to happen. It's a level 1 wall, so the wall isn't going to matter at all. Sven does a good amount of damage, but not enough damage to just eviscerate people in 2 hits. It's not enough. It's simply not enough. And hopefully this is going to be the final nail in the coffin. FVFS going to go for orange, it looks like. Kaganesti's slipping out of there alive. And they're just going to straight push the tower. Illusory Orb's going to fly. Hammer as well. Psycho going to BKB and going to get the Fiend's Grip onto Sven. There's no way to interrupt this. There's a Dream Coil onto 3, but it's really not going to matter. Moose is in the middle of everything, getting laid the beat down onto more Havoc. He's going to secure that kill. Unknown Tightness is going to try to go for the Razor. That's not going to happen either. Baltic is going to jump in and secure that kill. Actually, Lifestealer going to go down to the Aegis as well. The wall making things very difficult actually for FVFS to fight Unknown Tightness. Is now on the chase for Banana of Potassium. He's gonna get ruptured though. You can't continue to chase that. Power shot from the back is gonna secure the kill. Psycho is going to be in a little bit dangerous as well. Hitting the Gogek though. He can get beat down by Moose once again, who's been so far focusing the shallow grave targets. Kaganesti is in a little bit of trouble. 5 seconds left before he's gonna get slowed down, and looks like that's not really gonna matter. Moose, where are you going? He's gonna go to the bottom lane. Yeah, he has creeps there, I guess. That makes sense. In the end, it is a 3-for-3 with counting the Aegis. Hopefully this game will end now. I mean, that was a pretty good fight from Tresh. Good amount of coil usage there, and the Lifestealer spent a lot of time trying to beat down the target that literally cannot die. But now it's, well, they're still fighting. They're definitely still fighting. More Havoc gonna get shackled to Kaganesti. He's gonna drop, and I don't think the Dazzle is very long for life either. But Unknown Tightness is gonna waste his Rupture to a Lincoln Sphere, and well, yeah, that's not going to end well either. Good job, you vicious thugs. You went on a murder spree. Balti fighting tooth and nail. But there it is. More Havoc going to call it a good game. Fruity Bat might be the last casualty of the game. Run, Fruity Bat, run. And it's not going to work. GG has been called. GG, there it is. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. That is going to be round 1. We're going to be moving on to round 2 of the Balt Cup in just a little moment if you're on the stream. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And I hope you enjoyed it. GG. GG!